This is part two. Um, Hold on, let me check something real quick. Yeah. Okay, here we go. We've got part two coming right now. Getting part two up. All right. Sorry about all that, guys. Hopefully, we're getting Pez and them in here. Uh, right now we got Holly the Wolf and Pez join us in a bit. Hopefully, we get them working and get everything working fine because we had a bit of an audio problem. It's always an audio problem. Maybe Dan House has been cursing my stuff. Hi again, Holly. How are you? You been on your blastoids? Well, mm, I'm good. And no, but I did find my Charizard plush. Oh yeah, Charizard. Uh, nice. Mm. All right, guys. Let's hope this worked this time. Please welcome back. No friend Paz. Are we doing better, Paz?
You tell me. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you loud and clear now. A lot better.
All right.
I don't know what the problem is, but yeah.
I have no idea. I'm not tech savvy. That's why I had to
Yeah.
call
I'm,
Holly
yeah.
to try to help me out with
Hi.
these.
Yeah. Oh, this is she is with the Charizard. Plus, yeah. So it's nice to see you both here. And have you seen? And of course, we were talking about Saturday Night Main Event last night. How we seen Fatal Attraction become the new women's tag team champions, which I'm quite shocked because I was expecting at least have Nikki Bella return and get involved in some way, but guess not.
So, did you hear anything about Paige leaving WWE again?
I didn't hear anything about that, but I did hear that there's a chance that they may have the Bellas go against Paige. When if they do that, means Paige has to go again has to have another partner. Maybe a possibility they do a rematch of WrestleMania 31 where it's the Bellas against AJ Lee and Paige.
The reason I'm saying that is I've heard someone mention that they saw on somewhere on social media that she was planning on leaving again. I really don't. My internet at all is very limited. I don't really do social
Yeah.
media. Except here on
Well,
YouTube and a little tiny bit of Facebook, and that's about it.
yeah, like me, I don't do much of social media. Like the people, other than the fact I listen to WrestleMania on YouTube, where he talks about like certain rumors that could be possibly true. Like
No,
he
no,
did say
don't get me
anything about
wrong. I
Paige
love
leaving.
my
Yeah,
YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like Snapchat or Instagram
yeah.
or any of
Oh,
that
I
other,
don't go on much of
I don't.
those
I don't
and
do
hear
none of
anything
that
about
stuff.
wrestling. Yeah, I don't believe any of that stuff either.
I don't even use email. So, like, I'm still back in the dinosaur age.
Yeah, I mean, think about me. I was growing up in the '90s. We were advancing technology with stuff that The only technology I remember getting used to advancing with was PlayStation and Nintendo 64 and all that stuff. I mean, then I was in school. We didn't have cell phones. I didn't get my first cell phone until I was what in high school. Well, technically, it was just a waste. Not like today. Well, now I got a cell phone. A lot better. I got that one back. Like my first actual cell phone that was like touchscreen and that, and I call people with was what back in 2018. If that.
Well, you could be worse. You could have been me growing up when a computer took up the size of a room.
Well, then we had a computer, but
If you want to call it
never.
that, everything was on tapes and
Yeah.
reels and punch cards and
Oh yeah. We had that Windows 95 computer, but we didn't do much of anything on it. We didn't even have. I don't think we even gone to websites like that yet. Yeah, I get it. Hey, I was still watching VHS tapes growing up around the mid 2000s when DVDs was still a thing.
yeah, I hated switching. Like I said, the older you are, though, the more media changes you're going to see. I mean, think of it this way: I went
Yeah,
from 8 track to album to cassette to CD to MP3, and I've just given up. I don't I don't do none of that no more. Now everything is just on
like for
like
me,
like Apple streaming and whatnot. Just Apple
like on
Music
your
in general.
phone and all that. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
or even like nobody keeps that stuff anymore unless it's like for just nostalgia. For me,
But I'll
I
tell you
can think
what,
about
though, I'm,
like
I'm the
that.
complete opposite though on like movies and whatnot. Like I have a huge physical DVD collection. I still have boxes of
Hmm.
VHS somewhere in this house,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
don't
all right.
trust the streaming as far as like
Okay, that's
Netflix and
still
all that. I mean, I'm always picturing that
hi.
day when Netflix isn't even here
Yeah,
anymore. I want to be actually to own it.
I agree with
That's my
that.
thing.
Yeah,
You don't.
yeah.
If you
Damien
can't hold it, you
Costello
don't
and
own it.
Logan Bearmont. Yep. Logan Bearmont and David Costello. Hello, guys. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, I agree with that because, like, for me, I was growing up watching VHS tapes lasted way longer than DVDs. 'Cause when DVDs get scratched up or they start skipping, that's the worst thing to happen because next you know the movie's no more is not good anymore. Then we got, but when you have VHS tapes, it lasted longer. I mean, analogs break down less, but then when you have to, when you get, like the only worst case scenario when it came to VHS is if the analog tape like got stuck in the got stuck in the VCR. We had that a couple times and that was a real pain in the ass.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's kind of cool, being able to go from a VHS tape, which you have to actually physically rewind, wait for it to rewind, to like a DVD where you can actually just skip scenes. There is no rewinding. I get that. It's just buying everything over and over again.
Yeah, yeah, right now.
What you think about that, DM? Damien's talking to you,
What do
talking
I
about
think?
the championship.
Oh, oh, what's? I'm sorry, what? Oh yeah, like about my new gold, right? But I gotta say, it's probably one of the best big golds I gotten that's not a replica because I think the replicas they just came a bit later. But yeah, I'm gonna pull out my replica and you can clearly see when I pull out my replica big gold, the design is not as well put out there. It's like if they just like it's a slight stamp. Now compared to this new big gold, you can clearly see the pattern. And of course, if I bring it up close, you can see how deep of the etching the pattern is on this belt. Like, it's night and day difference from that other big gold. Then again, how this one's different because the zinc and the stainless steel. I think it's rare that the fact that the replicas from WWE Shop do that. But yeah, I mean, to have an unlicensed replica of the big gold, and yet, other than the fact that it came in flat, the plate was not. I actually had to put this over my bathtub and curve the plate a bit more. Now I think I got the curve down just right so it'll fit around my waist better. And I did had to cut a bit into the backing of this side plate here, just so I can get the screws back onto the strap. I mean, it's not going to be that noticeable, and I don't mind that. Like we said before, people are going to be more paying attention to the front of the belt than
DM, what did you think of the championship belt that they showed last night on Saturday night's main
Roman.
event?
Oh, you're talking about that custom world heavyweight belt?
Yeah.
So far, obviously it's a WWE replica because when he was holding it, you can see the patch in the background of it. And I can see it definitely being a beautiful belt in someone's collection that collects signature belts. It's not like a real belt made,
I was just
but
wondering how
yeah,
much they would charge for something like that, though, for that custom one.
but probably like the other one, $600-700. That's that horrible Williams belt. And I'm thinking $700 for that Trick Williams United States belt. What's that fur made out of? Endangered polar bear or something? Like mid card belt, like the Intercontinental in the U.S. didn't go over $500, like the world titles would. But it seems like now they're about equal amount price. I'm thinking, why is it that now all of a sudden all the belts are the exact price to each other? Before it's like, oh, $300 to $400.
Well, I thought it
Where
was
world
crazy
titles is like
price for that
$500 to $600.
crown jewel belt they put out. I mean, granted, the one thing I will say about that, at least it was the actual size of the belt. It's like massive, but $2,000. I
Yeah.
mean, I can't see it. I can't see it paying anywhere close to that. Again, that's just me, But sometimes I think
Well,
it's the test to where WWE makes something, puts a price tag on it just to see if people will still buy it. And people still buy it. They're going to keep doing it. I mean, it's
and
sold
they only
out.
made like a handful of them. Yeah. And like, oh, we'll make a handful of them, chop it up to this price, see if they buy it, and then they buy it and they sell out. Right. So what does that mean? Is that a good result?
It's a
Like
good
you
result for
sold out
them.
on it? Right. Like what's the result out of that? Because you keep it at that price, but then you realize you only make a handful. So like they said, they made like I don't know 7 of them, and then all 7 get sold out. Does that mean is that a good? Was that mean was it a successful? Was it a fail? Or like how do they plot that? Because as far as I know, you only made 7 of them, and they all sold out because apparently whoever had the money to throw at the damn thing for $2,000, they bought. But first of all, you also got to think the price range. First of and I'm thinking it's a great size. I'm pretty sure like this people said it's the actual size of the real belt. Which if the real belt was even like that, because sometimes they show. Because one time I did see when they put the backing of the belt of the crown jewel belt that they wore jewel after winning the match, they had a patch on it. So I'm thinking, wait a minute, that's a replica. They're showing off like before that replica belt, not like the real deal. But as well for this. Okay, so it's bigger than most world titles. I get that. It has a lot more stuff on it. But it equal to 2 grand worth of stuff. The jewels are probably the cheap plastic types. The leather may be the exact same stock leather they put on all the replica belts. Does that mean it equal up to 2 grand? I don't think so. When the price range of a belt like there's two different types of belts on WWE Shop. The standard replica, and then they have like a commemorative one, which is made out of plastic. That one is like half the price, if not yet, almost like go from $500 to $200. But they also have like a legacy version, or some, or the deluxe version where it's on real leather, or they use like cubic zirconias on it. It bumps it up from like $500 to maybe $900 to $1,000. Okay, I get that. But if the crown jewel replica is just a standard replica with plastic stones and that cheap plastic stock leather strap, I don't see it going for 2 grand. Maybe a minimum of at least 1,200. But 2 grand, I think it's a bit too much. If it's not real, like cubic zirconia or Swarovski crystals on that belt, and if the strap is not real leather.
Yeah, I agree
Now,
100%.
because before they used to sell Universal titles and WWE titles on deluxe straps that are supposed to be like real leather, and they only bumped up the price by $200. I mean, wow. Meaning, and there's probably real shitty leather, like not accurate leather, or it's somewhat closer to leather, but not being real leather, like vinyl or pleather, whatever the hell they'd use. Or they use cubic zirconias on the other deluxe versions, where it's like they replace the cheap plastic stones with actual crystals like cubic zirconias, and it only bumped up to like from $500 to $700 as well, or $900, and it's like, okay, that's slightly better, but the strap is still crap. At that point, might as well re-leather it myself, or get a send out strap on a real leather. And as long as the stones are a lot better than the cheap plastic ones, there you go. Like hell, it nearly cost me around 900, like $400 of that just to get my network logo belt restoned and on a real send out strap. And the send out strap took me a year to get in the first place. That ticked me off. That's why I never go back to rock leather belts again.
A year?
Yeah, took them a
Jeez.
year just to, but now I go to a guy called Random Munib. Hold on. Evan Evangelist Tiffany. Hey, Evangelist Tiffany, welcome to the live stream. But yeah, I went to Rock Leather Designs for my send out strap for the network logo belt, like that belt up there next to my Stanley Cup. I went to Rock Leather Designs because I heard a lot about them on YouTube. Turns out when I was talking to them, he said it would take about a year or so to get it. And I'm like, wow. And then when I got it, don't get me wrong, it's still great leather, and yet it had it accurate to Velcro. But then I hear the random Munib who got me tons of send out straps in less time, about equivalent to a couple weeks. And I gotta admit, the random Munib straps are definitely better. I mean, not all of them have that sealed edge on the top of the belt. So when you can clearly see when they put the front and backing of a strap on, there's not a sealed edge on it. So through time, the back may peel off. Like I would hate that to happen, but so far all the straps I got are pretty good because I don't even touch them as much, so they don't wear down all the time if I'm handling them. Many times I just leave them go alone. But the ones I get from Random Manib, I tell him about sealed edges, and he starts doing that. It makes the belts look a lot better. And of course, he does do TV acting. Well, I don't
as
know if he
well.
does redo plates, but I do know he does belts and he does leather straps, like send out straps. Those I went to him for send out straps. I think I got one belt from him that was a plate. I mean, a full plate with belt. I'm not sure if it was the Hogan 85 I got from him. Because I got a lot of unofficial replicas, and I'm pretty sure I got one from him that was an actual full belt before I started going for him for send out straps. It's just that it's hard to remember because after all, I know Hassan. I got like 5 or 6 from him. I was saying there was a lot of people, and Abdullah Rajput. I think I got like 3 from. But there's a lot of people I contact with. Well, I'm trying to cut down a bit on that. You know, because sooner or later, we're gonna have like 20 belt makers come at me and be like, "You want a belt from me?" I'm like, "There's like 20 of you. I want to split it down for a bit, or take time off from the previous ones I get from all the time and give others a chance." Like I want to give every belt maker a chance. If they got great quality belts and they do great work, I give them a chance. Like Muhammad Belts with this big gold, I'm definitely want to hit him up again. And it's a great decent price for only about like 300 some dollars with real crystals, or at least I think they're Swarovskis, or if not yet cubics, and a great quality belt. And then again, I can't blame him for the fact that the plates may have popped off the strap. That could have been a shipping error as well. After all, when UPS held this for about a week, who knows what they've been doing to the boxes. But like I say, I can't blame Muhammad for the plate problem, that the plate coming off the strap. I think that could also have been a shipping error.
Was
But
there
like I said,
damage
I
done to
wouldn't.
the box when you got it?
Well, the box looked okay, but like they said, eventually for it to be inside, like way it was put in that box for a while, you don't move it out and all that. Maybe through time, the fact that I didn't open up the box and that there could have been, like as I said, it's a shipping problem. It may not have been something wrong with the belt itself, or the maker forgot. Because then once he ships it off, if anything that happens with it during shipping, it can't be their concern, can't be their problem. I mean, and when I got the box, it didn't look like it was tampered with, but think of it. When you're moving a box for shipping and it doesn't say fragile on it, obviously, if it's nothing that it's going to get banged up in that, they're going to toss it about through the production and that. But through normal mixing around and that shuffling about it, the belt may be a little bit loose in the box, so it shifts around a bit. I can see something like that happening.
Maybe they should actually put some kind of fragile, sticker on it. Fragile.
Because I gotten some belts with that have a ton of stones on them. I do get when I do open them up. Sometimes some stones pop out, and again, that's not like the the manufacturer's problem. I say that's a shipping problem. But you know, it's a simple, easy fix. I got glue that. Oh, bit my lip a bit, but like I said, I got glue. I could glue the stone back, no problem. But like I said, I can't blame the belt maker for that because I blame shipping for that. When you move a box about and the stones are set in with a different type of glue that I wouldn't use that would keep it in place, occasionally stones will pop out, especially if you're moving the belt about. If it's loaded with stones, like the radar spinner I got from Hassan, there was like 6 or 7 stones that came out of it when I unboxed it. And I don't blame Hassan for that. I blame the shipping company for it. Because again, they don't put fragile on it because these belts are not made out of glass, so they can handle a few things here and there. They may get scratched and dinged up, but again, it's not like they break on contact. No, they're not that fragile. Do I
Speaking
agree
of
they should
belts,
put fragile? I'm saying,
no,
do
go
I
ahead, Peter.
agree that they should? Well,
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, but do I agree the fact they should put maybe a fragile label on the box to ship them out so that people be more careful for it? Yeah, I would agree. Because after all, you're spending like hundreds of dollars on a belt like this, it should be handled with more care. Yes, and you know they wrap it in plastic bags and bubble wrap. Sometimes few things happen to where it shakes about and it gets loose. Like I said, I got a couple belts here that have a few loose screws and that, and I try to tighten them down when I can. Or a bolt or like a screw pops out. Or a bolts in the that holds the plate to the strap snaps. That happened to my Backlund belt. Luckily enough, I got JB Weld and I welded the bolt back onto the plate, so now it holds up with the strap. Like I would hate to try to take that plate off and try because I don't have a lot of the tools that you use to put a new screw into the back of the plate, then put it back on the strap and use another screw and then fiddle around with the backing. Like I don't have that type of manufacturer work with me because then again, majority of the tools I have it requires heavy. If it requires heavy machinery, I don't have the area to do that. But yeah, many times I try to fix my belts. But yeah, as I said, they definitely need to have more handle of care if you're shipping overseas.
I'll tell you what. I got. I don't know about how you feel about it, but on the pre-show, I guess for last night, the Trick Williams match, I saw that U.S. title with that fur on it, and it's driving me nuts even more. I do not like it with the fur on it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, because we saw Tiffany Stratton comes out with the women's U.S. title, and the fact that it's white. It just gets me more confused. I'm like, wait a minute, is Trick Williams holding the women's U.S. belt? Because why do they have to be white? I mean, and fur, I don't really give a damn as long as it doesn't look like he's wearing like a kilt or some type of Yeti stuff on his junk. Because literally, for him having that fur on it, it's like, why do you got Santa Claus's beard attached to the U.S. title, and why do you got to wear it around your waist? It just looks like he's wearing a furry, like I don't know, a furry kilt around him while he has the U.S. title for belt buckles. I'm like, what the hell is that? I mean,
Yeah,
unless you,
definitely not a fan of the fur.
yeah, because I'm like, okay, you walk out dressing like a pimp and that, I get that, but you gotta have to have a belt look like a pimp too. All it's missing is a couple of Godfather's hoes for him to smack. But no, I'm not gonna go that far. But yeah, I'm thinking white for a man strap, definitely not fitting well, unless it was the classic IC. But now we see white straps are mostly reserved for the women's. If you were to do a fur belt like that, a furry US title, God help us, don't make it white. Because then again, eventually, you know about how white stuff is, it's gonna not stay white for long. And the quote about like how Trick Williams are with all that baby oil and alcohol and all that stuff they do for those belts, it's gonna get stained up real quick.
Yep.
That's why I say if you're gonna do or for better customization, maybe just a plain. Maybe you add some form of white on it, or better yet, just have his phrases like lemon pepper steppers on like on one side of the strap, and whoop that trick on the other. I mean, considering LA Knight's customization, all he had was LA branded onto the leather and painted in white, and it looked like stars in a way. But I'm saying that's all LA Knight did to the U.S. title. I'm surprised why did they do that for Trick Williams? Like he had to get a full on fur belt. What is the United States champion of the furries now?
I get customizing the side plates. It took time for it to grow on me, but I get it now. I just can't see everybody
Yeah,
getting their own custom belt. That's just too much.
yeah. Like I would think if for a world title, yes, a customization for a world title will be okay in WWE. That's mostly what they always did. But when you go to mid cards and customize them, it just goes too far. And two, it's like, why you want to customize the US title now? So far, it's the second time we have a customization of a US title. Intercontinental titles didn't even go that far yet, as far as I know. I mean, if they start customizing Intercontinental title, then I realize they've gone too far. I say leave customization for world titles. I mean, just for world titles. Leave the mid cards and the tags alone. They're okay as themselves. Simple as that.
Yeah, and again, I don't mind them as a buying it as a replica. And if you want to personalize it as a replica, I don't have no problem with that. Like I said, I saw one for Jacob Fatu on eBay, a personalized U.S. title. I thought that looked pretty sharp, but for you know, for like the
For a ring
fans,
used belt. Yeah, like
but
signature
not
when you do a
not for the
signature series.
actual belt to be customized like that.
Yeah,
I don't see that.
yeah, yeah. Like I say, like it's like for a signature series. Leave the signature series for the fans to buy. Because when you bring it out to the TV and wear it around, it just looks stupid. Then again, we had Brock Lesnar when he forgot to bring the real Universal title. He walked out with a replica belt. Like some wrestlers forget their real belts in the locker room and they don't have time to go and grab them. So many times you just go to the shop and grab a replica and wear that around because the time when Brock was the Universal Champion, he wore the red Universal. It was clearly a replica because A, it wasn't curved like a real belt, more flatter, and of course it didn't shine different. It shined different in the light because of the stones, and it didn't have the Brock Lesnar side plates. It was the stock
Well, I'll
plates.
I'll tell you what though, it's actually really good in this one way about Brock having to use a basically a replica belt because he forgot it. Back in the day, if
Yeah,
you didn't have that belt, I mean, that was a real issue. And I'll give you one example, an old story from the 70s where Terry Funk won the US title and the actual
yeah,
belt they didn't have. And it was just blind luck that Blackjack Mulligan, Barry Windham's father, had just come from the
yeah,
WWF into the NWA territory. He still had the old WWF tag team belt. He was tag team champion. He just didn't return it yet. And so they allowed
yeah.
Terry Funk to actually use that belt. He held that belt up as symbolization for the U.S. title. I mean, you hear
Well, they
stories
did
like
that
that.
before as well. Yeah, they also did it with when Ric Flair left WCW with the NWA Dome or the Big Gold Belt. They didn't have a world title belt for like Luger yet, so they just took an old NWA belt and replaced it and like added a champion on it.
Well, they actually did that in WWF too. When Ric Flair, did you ever notice
Yeah,
that there's photos of Ric Flair holding up the world title belt, but it's a tag team
yeah,
belt, but it doesn't say tag team on
yeah.
it.
It
It
was
just says world champion on it, but it's definitely a tag team
yeah, it was
belt.
a customized Attitude Era, or it was like a customized World Tag Belt. I remember that,
Yep.
and it was just hilarious when I think of it like that. It's just like wow, they to the point where even though they could do it, many times they, but then again, back in the day as well, like imagine if they, imagine like I'm pretty sure as well today they have that problem where sometimes they may misplace them, like how Jericho misplaced the first ever world title of it of AEW. Even jealous Tiffany says hi. Oh yeah, hi. But yeah, like when he lost that title, imagine when but you forget back in those days, if they lost the title, yeah, it would be kind of hard to, That's why they always have backups just in case. They would never want to have, a
You
chance
had to
of.
put up. You actually had to put up money for the old school 10 pounds of gold. You had to put up a retainer just so they would know they would get their belt back, and it was usually somewhere around
Yeah,
$12,000 at one point. I
yeah.
know it went higher after that, but we're talking
Well,
in
yeah,
the
like
like
Ric
'60s and
Flair.
'70s. Like you had to
Yeah,
put up like ten to twelve
yeah.
thousand dollars.
Deposit. Yeah, it's like a deposit.
Yeah,
Like, but like I said, like talk about again back to Ric Flair when he had the big gold belt. He put like a $25,000 deposit on it, I think. And when he did
yeah, I think
that,
that's the right amount.
when he was leaving the company, he was wanting to get that money back, but they refused to give him the money. So he's just like, you know what? If you're not going to give me my money back, I'm going to take the belt. And there was that issue all the time. But it's like back in the day. I remember when he put $25,000 on the belt. Once he was leave, he should get that money back. He shouldn't not have to be like, "Where's my money?" And they were like, "We're not going to give it to you. We're not going to get the belt back." I get that. When you put money on a belt, if you don't get that money back, technically that just means now the belt is yours. And I say that, and now that belt is now pretty much like a retired version of that belt, they definitely would say it's now a historical piece that, luckily enough, is now back in the Flair family, which I'm pretty glad that the original Big Gold is now in the Flair family. I'm surprised the fact that WWE didn't decide to keep it into their like in their warehouse, like they keep most belts, which I'm surprised. Like some people have gone to the WWE warehouse and they those type of belts in a case. But Magic like nowadays they don't have people going into the warehouse no more, which I'm surprised. It's like the warehouse could be something somewhat like a museum, like let people see old school like designs
Oh,
and that.
absolutely, yeah. I'm surprised that someone hasn't figured out the idea of maybe turning it into a museum and charging people to go in.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, again, it's a piece of history and that. But come
The
on, it's like I would be glad to go to the WWE warehouse to see belts. Probably should have like that could have been sent on TV, but yet they turned it down. Like there's one WCW or no, the ECW championship that never seen the light of day. That they finally just released on the WWE YouTube channel where Ben Brown, the WWE archivist, showed it to the world about that belt, and it was supposed to be the one that was replaced the old ECW channel design before they went to the big silver.
well, you know who has the original 10 pounds of gold, right? You know where that's at, right? The original 10 pounds of gold is in Triple H's house over his fireplace. It was gifted to him by Ric Flair. Ric Flair actually said
Oh,
he kind of he would like to get that belt back, but he's kind of sorry he gifted it.
yeah, this the one that she probably buried with,
I remember when that happened live
and you know what? Yeah,
when
when
she put
she
it in the garbage can.
dropped it into
Yep.
the garbage. Yeah, you dropped it in the garbage can, and now the possibility, the fact that they're asking for like $100,000 because Vince McMahon told her it's yours, you get to keep it, and what you and then they should have not said that because now she said she wanted to give it back to WWE, she wanted it to, but ever since Vince said it's yours, you keep it. Now she makes it like a business proposition. She wants like she knows
Hey,
how much
DM,
it's
look,
worth.
I Ram's back. Yes, it's me.
Yeah, you
Yep,
Yeah,
that's me.
Iram, welcome back, Iram.
I
But yeah,
told you
I
I
was
was
saying like
old.
this. Yeah. But yeah, but that's when she was Medusa. But I like that how it was in WWE Most Wanted Treasures that both hold on now. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, as I say, that now I'm surprised no one has that. Like, so you barely see people with that type of belt in the collection, the old pink women's belt. And yeah, majority of people that collect belts are men. But I say would still like women's belts if it's part of history. Because I would say I wouldn't mind
At
having
some
that belt
point,
in
I think I,
collection.
I would probably get one at some point, though. At some point.
Yeah, because I think it definitely does deserve to be more recognized than all the men's belts. Because everyone would think, oh, everyone thinks about just the men's titles, but it's like you kind of forget there's also the women's titles that could be as more popular than the men's. Like when you think about the old class, like the the one that Fabulous Moolah held or Rockin' Robin held, that like blue one that was called the WWF Ladies Championship. It wasn't even called women's; it was called Ladies Championship.
Yeah, but
Now
do you know where
that
that
one
belt
has
came from,
some
though?
prestige and fame. Yeah,
That old school belt, the WWF purchased it from the NWA. That old school, it's one of those cast belts.
ah, as I say, because I remember they showed like photos of that particular ladies title, like on a YouTube channel where a guy went to the like WrestleMania, like I forget what they call that, like like the fan access stuff, and they had the belts on display, and they had that ladies title. And I'm thinking, imagine how people would see the lady, like people have the ladies championship.
Well,
I
I
mean,
look at it
because
this way.
most
I mean, at
people,
some point, if you go to some kind of convention, right, and you wanted
yeah,
to get an autograph, what better way than to get it on a belt? That's the way I look at it. And if you wanted to
yeah,
get,
because I
go ahead.
no, I was just saying I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you big time about that because they I mean, a photo on a picture and that's no problem, no big deal. But then when you got, but imagine it getting signed on a belt that they won or they wore. It's obviously has more of a more collectible for people, like the big gold. I have the like my replica T and Ric Flair. Ric Flair didn't win that type version of the big gold but he's still world champion of that particular design. He was the only first one to wear that design. But I said, having that compared to having it on a photo signed by him, who's gonna want to get? What would person get more? A signed belt or a signed picture? Because it
Well, if your
makes it
if
feel
your plan
like
is to
they
resell something, then you're going to get more for the belt.
it'll have more value because a come and go, and they're not gonna. And two, in the case of worst case scenario, they could eventually may get worn down or messed up. Whereas a belt, as long as you keep it in pristine condition, you can also take it with you. Like who's gonna go walking around to a arena or that with a signed like nobody would do that. I
Right.
mean, it's still pretty. I mean, it'd be pretty damn stupid. I mean, it'd be pretty damn stupid to even go to an arena with the signed belt to begin with. Imagine all the type of stuff that could do to get messed up. But still, it's
What's
like,
that, Iram? I want Diva's champion back. Did you actually like that belt, Iram? The butterfly version of that?
oh my god, are you serious? You like the butterfly? I feel like the reason why most people not like the Divas title is because the fact was that it was basically it made the Divas not as popular as they are now. It made them like I would say not in an offensive way, but kind of like made the
I
Divas
think
seem
it
like
was
second
all in the
class.
I think it was all in the name, personally. If that had said women's championship with that design, I don't think people would have complained that much. I think it was all in the name Diva because you're supposed to be the women's champion. Diva does it, it maybe it's just me.
Well,
I just
Diva
it
now
doesn't
sounds a
sound
bit yeah, Diva does not sound good as compared to a woman. Because
right.
divas sound like it's like nowadays when people think of divas, it's like the rich snob, fancy bitch type of people. That's what I'm thinking
Snooty.
of when I hear diva.
Yeah, snooty.
Because now you have the type of ones called divas. But then back then they didn't even call them women as well. They call them ladies. Like that was more class back in the day. Like from the 70s, 80s. They weren't called there wasn't like the women's division. It was the ladies division when they had the ladies championship. That sounded more fancy and more like class, you know? I said like more
They
respectable.
they actually
Like,
had a ladies tag team championship back then too.
yeah, but now they have a now that and then they changed it to women's tag team championship,
You know, but it
which
doesn't share the same lineage though. The one from today, it doesn't share
yeah.
the same lineage from the one back in the day. Never understood that.
Well, and then again, like the current world championship for the men's world championship, it doesn't have the exact same lineage as the world championship from before, like the one of the big gold. I'm like, why? That the fact that since it has the exact same name as the World Heavyweight Championship, it doesn't have the exact same lineage as the World Heavyweight Championship. It makes no sense.
Hey DM,
Yeah.
I think Holly's going to burst in a second if she isn't able to show you her Blastoise.
All right. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, it's real cute. Got my little squirrel right here too.
Yeah, I got
Hello.
my shorts from a long time ago.
Ah, real nice. Yeah. I got my own personal little Pokemon right here too. Ain't that right, Squirtle? Squirtle.
This
Squirtle.
week it's like a
Yeah.
long ago.
Yeah.
I
I'd
can't
say
remember Holly.
but as well, there's another thing that WWE Shop doesn't seem to be doing as well is like why I mean all these replica belts, but yet I'm thinking if they want to do something like Legacy, why don't they do like a once a year thing, like around WrestleMania time, bring out replicas of belts from early years, like if they could sell out the Hogan '86. What about like for to pay homage to Hogan and WrestleMania? What about the WrestleMania One championship, like the Hogan '85 or the Hogan '84, or hell, even the big green belt? Why isn't the big replica in the WWE shop? Like the fact that WWE Championship's been around for over what?
Anything WWE related, I admit there's probably a couple exceptions here or there. They should be able to put in their WWE shop for belts. I mean, even if it was just on a have a picture of it and just made to order, that they should be able to do
Yeah,
that.
but I'm saying like they got like if they come up with ideas and plans, I feel like they need to give these ones a chance. They brought the Crumb Run back, the Crumb Run WCW Big Gold, and though some people like it, some people don't. I'm saying like if they could bring back old school classic belts and then have them as replicas and maybe have it as an experiment. Like I said, to fans out there and to you, Pez, don't you think WWE should think of this as this plan? Like, listen up, WWE. If when WrestleMania 43 comes about, or every time we have a WrestleMania, do it once a year for the or at least during the weekend, WrestleMania weekend, until after WrestleMania, start to make replicas of old school belts that heavyweight time. there's people out there that don't mind seeing that as a replica belt and get that again. Because if they can bring back the block logo Big Eagle, how about the bring out the like the two versions of the light heavyweight, the block red strap, and of course the scratch logo version. Since I said to verify for everyone's different opinion to that. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that as a replica back in WWE shop. Don't you agree, Pez?
I do agree. The only thing is, they would probably have to watch out for any kind of WWE or WWF logo. I guess they would have to fix that. And
Well, that's probably why that's why it would be a block WWE logo. That's how they would go past it. They won't use WWF. They will use WWE logos.
right,
But I'm
there
saying
should be
like
a
that.
simple solution to
Like
just fix that issue. If that's the only issue, keeping them from doing it, that to me it's a no brainer. I mean, there's always going to be belts that people want, no matter how old they are, just to put in their collection.
yeah. But I'm saying like the only way they can get away from the WWF logos is just change it to WWE logos. Simple as that.
Iran, I
And they can
think you're
still
right. You see that? What Iran said? Yeah, there weren't
WWE
sponsors
at
all
least
over the
remove
ring.
sponsors from the mat. Well, yeah, but then again, I think that's another thing too. WWE is a $1 billion company. It's doing fine on its own, but yet they're having sponsors and putting logos around almost everything. But then again, I don't think that's their problem. I think it's because of the fact they merged with TKO. And then UFC does that all the time. UFC, the Octagon, there's logos brand all over the damn thing.
Yeah, I think that's a
And then whatever
TKO
WWE,
thing. I think it's a TKO thing only because
yeah,
Vince. What I will give Vince McMahon credit for, to him the ring was sacred. That's why you never saw advertising, except if it was a
in the
WWE
ring.
logo on the turnbuckles.
Or on the post or on the barricades.
Right,
The ring was always just plain, unless it was the logo of the show itself in the middle of the ring. That'd be okay as well.
right,
I think before, like they might have like a Monday Night Raw logo or that. WCW had WCW Nitro in the middle of the ring to show what they were watching. I get if you have like your company's logo in the middle of the ring, I get that. Or even like a WrestleMania logo in the middle of the ring, which they did at WrestleMania a couple times. If it's a WrestleMania logo, or if it's any pay-per-view logo, I understand that. But
right.
when
It's
you're
all it's
sponsoring
all
like I don't know,
connected and
Dodge
tied to the
Ram,
company, which is completely understandable.
but yeah, but anyway, like I was saying, like a purple strap Intercontinental. If they could bring out the strap Big Eagle, just remove the WWF logo and put the block WWE logo. They could do that with the purple Intercontinental. And I'm saying if they can remove those block WWE or scratch WWF logos and replace them with WWE logos, I can see it where once a year WWE gives this as an experiment. Let's bring out fancy belts from that nobody knows about, and let's see how well people want them. I say there's still some old school class collectors like you and me that wouldn't mind seeing belts like that to add to people's collections, and they'd be a lot easier than go because they imagine how much money they could lose if the people are like if they don't have it, they could go the unofficial replica route like we do. Instead, WWE never sells a great big gold like this one. I went the bootleg route. Or the hardcore title. I went the unofficial route with that one because they never got that one accurate.
Right,
As well,
exactly.
like
I
the
mean,
big,
here,
say
think of
they
it
could
this
do it
way:
right.
that you're never going to see in WWE shop, at least not anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to see this one in WWE shop. All these old school designs that could probably make them money. They're the ones that are just, they're throwing money away by just not even having the option. That's why people go to
Yeah,
these sites online to get the unofficial replicas.
yeah, like the Backlund belt. The only reason why they don't have that is because it says WWWF. I mean, you could just say WWW, don't have the F on there, and say wrestling heavyweight champion or that, and it'll still be just fine. It doesn't have to be WWF. But then again, as well, it's I found. But I'm thinking, okay, but does that mean WWF should be okay? Because WWF gone, it's not going to be used. But when you, how is that going to affect the World Wildlife Fund? The fact because there's the extra W. That's way beyond the time. And I'm thinking the WWF should not be licensed. Or should not be having a problem with the copyright compared to the World Wildlife Fund that used WWF. I think that one should be okay. Anyone beyond that, or ones that didn't have logos to begin with.
What do you
Because even
think
the big
about what
green belt, I
Iran
can
just
see.
said,
WWE is not
DM?
consistent about Gunther. 8 months. Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, let's see. WWE is not consistent about Gunther. 7 to 8 months ago, he retired John Cena and AJ Styles. Now he's getting a match with Nick, the SmackDown GM. Well,
It does raise a
but you
question.
also
Why has Gunther been put on the shelf the way he's been? You know what I mean? Like he was red hot as a
well,
heel, and then all of a sudden you put him on ice.
well, we also got to remember about all these newcomers. Like I say, imagine about Obafemi. Like there's only enough. They only have enough space for so many of them. But then when you try to give everyone a chance, someone's got to be left out.
What do you think would happen if Oba went to SmackDown instead of Raw?
It could have been a lot different story. But I'm saying, eventually, one of them had to be left out of something, and that's why I would say it would be a. I would agree the fact how they're doing Gunther Raw, but then again, there's only enough room for so many of them. Eventually, someone's going to be left out on something. It's like, what can you do? There's not many. Yeah, right now it's. That's why like I say, between that, I mean, some people like Gunther, some people don't. To me, I'm not a big fan of Gunther. Just the fact is, it's kind of like they're building him like a Nazi. Like that's old school style back in the day, like 60s and 70s style wrestling there. Like with Fritz von Erich. When he came about, he
Right.
was a Nazi.
Gunther's a throwback.
And I'm thinking, is he trying? I mean, is he trying to be retro of doing a throwback like that? Like before, he was just known as Walter from Austria. Now with that comb over being like a German and that, I'm like, okay, so he's a wrestling Hitler. And as much as I hate to talk about like something like that, but I'm thinking, yeah, he basically now is like a wrestling Hitler. And think of the name, Gunther. It's not even a name. It's just like a big henchman for like the Nazi party.
Well, I'll be telling you this: that haircut's really not helping him. It looks like he was $5 short on a $10 haircut. You know?
Yeah, but I'm saying the only thing he's missing is the mustache, and there you go. And put on a fancy suit in German. Well, I'd say the Jewish community ain't gonna like him.
Oh, I don't hate Gunther. I ran him. I think he's a great heel. But if his character makes you not like him, he's doing the right thing. You know what I mean? That's why people hate
Yeah,
him
I
so
mean,
much. It's his character. I mean,
well,
he's
that's what
doing
I'm
a
saying.
good job with his character.
I mean, no, I'm saying not like I don't hate the guy, like I don't want him to wrestle. It's just that you gotta hate a heel. If you like the guy and he's trying to be an asshole, he ain't doing his job. If he you can say that's his job to be a heel. His job is for you to hate him. That's why you have to hate him because the guy retired Goldberg. I mean, I didn't really care much about Goldberg, but he retired John Cena. I was growing up with that guy. He was the ultimate good guy, and near the end of his day, and yet out of all of them, I wish there would have been someone else to retire him but Gunther. Because I feel like Gunther didn't need to retire all these people. Now they give him the nickname the career killer. And obviously, there's what next idea for him is to retire Brock Lesnar.
Think of it this way. For me, like take Dominic Mysterio. People don't like Dom. I love Dominic Mysterio. That's the problem. A lot of people really like him. It's really hard to be a heel when everybody likes you, or the majority at least, anyway.
Yeah, they're saying. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy Dominic. I like him because the fact is, I grew up with him when he was just a fan, and then now being related to Rey Mysterio. I have respect for Rey Mysterio, and I like how he's being a heel. And I don't really. I mean, dude, you gotta hate the heels. It's like I don't hate him. It's just that as a fan, I'm saying this guy's an asshole. Like that feel. Like I don't hate the guy, but then again, I only I see because he does great in the ring. That's what I'm saying. I respect them, but it doesn't mean I gotta
You
like
know
him.
what I? You know what I think part of the problem is, and again, maybe it's just me. What I think part of the problem is you're able to see too much behind the scenes of what goes on in wrestling today. If you didn't
Oh yeah, like
see,
WWE
like,
Unreal.
right, if you weren't able to see all this and just see the character they're portraying, no behind the scenes stuff, no outside of the ring, you might
Keep kayfabe
see
alive.
Dominic as like this asshole, or see Gunther more of a even worse than what
Yeah,
people see him now. But there's just too much behind the scenes of insider know-how of what's going on in the business.
because now everybody knows. Oh, they're just acting. They're not really like that in real life. Well, at least some of them ain't. But that's what I'm saying. But then again, keeping kayfabe alive, some people didn't want that. Like how Vince McMahon, if he would have kept kayfabe alive, I'm pretty sure Dr. D. David Schultz would have still had his job in the WWF before he slapped the hell out of that reporter,
Yeah, John
or after he
Stossel.
slapped him.
Yeah, I remember when that happened. It was like that was it made people question because people there was that was still a time period where a lot of people thought wrestling was still real, and that actually backed it up that it was at the time. But even going
Well,
further back, I mean, if you go back and if you ever have a free moment, look this event up. It's
like
on
the
YouTube.
carnivals.
Go back to 1974 Cleveland riot with Ox Baker. I don't know if you're
Ah,
familiar with Ox Baker. People
no.
thought it was so real, they rioted it. They started coming into the ring. They chased the wrestlers out of the ring and through the
Whoa.
stadium. It was bad. He got a
Well,
permanent. The
that's
last
probably the
scene,
reason
the
why
last
they
scene you
had
see
to.
in that is hold on, just
Yeah.
one second. The last scene you see was a fan swinging a chair, and as it made impact, that's where the image or the video stops. But there was an interview. He had a dent in his head the rest of his life from that shot.
Oh my God. My
You would know
God.
Oxbaker
And that
more if you've ever seen the movie Escape from New York with Kurt Russell. You ever
I
seen that
heard about
movie?
it. Yeah, I heard about that
Well,
movie.
Oxbaker plays in that movie. That's if you're not familiar.
All right.
Well, in one scene anyway. So,
Yeah.
and it's a sort of a wrestling scene. So,
Okay. I'll look in on that. But
yeah,
yeah, I can
1974
see something
Cleveland
like that.
riot. That's
But man, well, that's probably another reason why they had to say it's entertainment. That's why when Vince came out and said it was entertainment, because back then, but it wasn't just that, but as well, they were actually charging promoters like fees to show this stuff. Like they were like then they said for them to charge fees on this is like you charge in Broadway or ballet and stuff like that. And that's when they told them it's entertainment. It's not an actual sport. And that's how they get past the booking fees and all that to promote their shows in arenas. Now they could take 100% of the ticket sales and about being taxed on it through states. It's like, hey, it's just a show. Like that's another reason why they no longer say it was real. But then again, you can't say it's fake either. Because A, you're telling me that person that's laying on the table that just had his leg snapped after landed on it wrong was fake. That Psycho Sid moment. Oh, you telling
Oh
me that's
yeah,
fake? Oh, I feel that in my leg now, just trying not to picture it, but seeing how his leg was at a 90-degree angle, I'm like, oh, imagine the time they had to that they refused to replay that scene with Hutchinson when he broke his leg in the Lions game. Oh God, because they showed it
I
on
ran. I'm not sure if you're
TV.
aware of this, but Finn Balor was the first Universal champion. He was world champion at one point. Iram asked if about Finn Balor. He was the
Yeah,
first Universal champion.
yeah, he was. I'm pretty sure it was an experiment on him when they make him win a first at something, become world champion. They wanted to experiment him to see if he could do it. And obviously, when he won it, only problem was he had to relinquish it 24 hours later because he ended up getting injured with a
Yeah,
dislocated
because of his
shoulder.
injury. You know what? I'll tell you what though, if he didn't get injured, his career might
I'm
have
pretty sure
changed
he would still.
drastically
I
too.
think he would be more of a world champion. He'd be more on the world
Yeah,
champion vibes. He probably would have. He probably would have had a couple. He would have probably won a couple more down the line. Like I would see him maybe be a 2 or 3 time world champion by now.
yeah. I think that injury really, missed his window of opportunity because of that injury.
Because you got to think, wrestling is a tough business. Few people can make it to the top. And yet those that do make it on top, some of them barely could stay on top because there's only enough room for only so many. That's why I say it's a hard bit like that. It's maybe it's not like the exact same it was back in the day, but it still has that kind of vibe today. Where you gotta kick a few people around. You gotta push your way up to the top. You gotta be that ruthless and heartless bastard to get there. And I still think that's still around today. Because not everybody can be up top. Like, you're not going to see R-Truth winning the World Heavyweight Championship anytime soon. He's been in that business for over 20 years. Yes, he did win the NWA World title, but that's when he went to TNA because WWE wasn't going to give him any title. That's the thing. You
DM,
got to
listen,
work your way
I gotta
up.
go take care of something. I'm gonna try to make it back. All right, but
All
if I
right.
don't, I'll definitely be here on next Sunday. Like I said, let me
Yeah,
take
no
care of
problem,
something.
man.
See if I got time to make it back. All right.
Yeah,
So
no
I'll
problem,
talk to
man.
you in
I'll
a little
talk to
bit.
you for a little bit. Yep. All right. Thanks again, Paz. Yeah, no problem, man. All right, guys. Hold on 1 second. All right. Oh, is Pez still with us or is he there? And Universal Champion is the worst belt for me. Well, is it just the belt itself? Like, 'cause don't forget, there was two versions of it. There was the red, and then there was the blue version. Pez, as I say, like it depends on as well what version you're talking about. Let's say I'm there till end. Yeah, definitely. But I say, I mean, I think the Universal title, well, it may have been all right, was all right. Do I agree that it may not be the best version? Yeah, I agree. Then again, I own both red and blue versions of the Universal title in my collection. They're okay belts. I'll give you that. Then again, they're just like the WWE Championship. But I would say, like the Divas title, might I said that butterfly. Maybe it was just be like to me. It was like belittling the women's division at the time. Like to me, I think they were belittling the females. Then when they got rid of it and now had a women's title, I was like, finally, they're giving women respect. That's how I see it. They were basically giving women respect. Come on, shit. Hold on, guys. 1 second. What am I missing? I'm down. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. I will be in the stream for a little bit. No problem. Hey, damn, did you watch Supergirl? No, I did not watch Supergirl yet. But I probably eventually will when I have a chance to. When my want to see how that one's gonna go, especially now with the new Superman. What's going on? Hey, brother Kane, how are you, man? Welcome back to the live stream. We're just chatting up with Pez, Iram, and them about things that have been going on.
Enough already. What's wrong with you? You make soft ice cream, okay? It's purely for kids. What kind of psycho are you? Just why make sure you shut up. Creating is a fraud. We just do it. And it's I do want to love you. So
I like this. All right, that's nice. I'm going to save it here. Man, it's kind of crazy out here. It's good. And I'm posting my new video on my channel. Oh, that's good. That's good to know, man. Right now, I'm just going to go. Try not to set my helicopter on fire. Just playing a bit more of this game here. And hey, brother Kane, hey, what's going on, Iram? Yeah, guys. Yeah, I was just talking about to Pez about certain things, and I wanted to hear your guys' opinion on this. According to Pez and I, don't you guys think WWE should try to do this experiment that for once a year during WrestleMania weekend, when they release belts out to the public, don't you think that, at least for WrestleMania weekend, they should have a legacy section of belts to where they release belts they don't even have in WWE shop? Say like the Hogan 85 belt. Would you rather see that like in WWE shop at WrestleMania weekend? The Backlund belt and the big green belt? Like I could mind seeing those be replicas in WWE shop with me. Even other ones like a classic red strap block logo light heavyweight. But I could have two versions of that light heavyweight belt. Or even a classic, the European title, both in the scratch logo version and the block logo version with the green strap. And other replicas like WCW Cruiserweight, classic ECW television, and the tag. Like, don't you think you could start being more at WWE shop and they could probably make more money? Yeah, they should do this way before. But I'm saying WrestleMania weekend, see legacy section of belts be released and to be replicas. I mean, come on. They own WCW. Want to release a WWE title? They used to release a WCW World Heavyweight title. I don't think it's on WWE Shop no more. They could release the WCW Cruiserweight. They don't even release this Cruiserweight title, the Ruthless Aggression Cruiserweight, and the tag teams, both the classic '90s version, with the NWO version. I almost at least do a lot of Pokemon content on my channel, but a little bit before, but thing like Pez. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I started trying to get used to this as well, but thanks to Dex for helping me out on that one. Like another one, guys. We have WWE Shop used to sell a 3-plated version of this belt. Now imagine selling the 5-plate version, or even a purple strap IC. Like some of these belts definitely deserve their spot in the classic idea of being a belt at least sell it once a year on WWE Shop at the events at WrestleMania, like fan access. just to see how it goes, you know? And if it goes well, I feel like they should do that. I mean, if you guys agree, let me know because I would say I definitely want to see these belts come back at least once every now and then. Because they got rid of the ruthless aggression tags on the WWE shot. I would like to see them come back every now and then. Even older belts like the Backlund belt or even the first ever Bruno Sammartino championship. Like, see those belts come out every now and then. Because old school, like, wrestling fans like Pez and I, or, well, then again, Pez is a school wrestling fan. He definitely wouldn't mind seeing these classic old school belts coming back. Even if it is once a year. Yeah, I don't think so. Brock is going to retire on SummerSlam. Believe me, I would say so. Yes. Let's just hope the fact that Brock does retire SummerSlam from Obafemi and not retire WrestleMania by Gunther, because I think that'd be kind of stupid. Don't you agree? To have Gunther retire Brock Lesnar, he's already retired enough people as it is. Because they were talking about him retiring Rey Mysterio, and I'm like, I don't want him to retire Rey Mysterio either. Like, when's he gonna have to retire everybody? Very soon, there's not gonna be nobody else left wrestling. Oh! I'm almost done. Done. Where's that tax sequence? WWE should not let Gunther retire Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I'm saying, like, certain people don't deserve to be retired by Gunther at all. Gunther retired enough people. Just leave it alone. And best plan for GTA trying to look for areas to buy. Get out. Damn. Almost died. Ain't that funny? Definitely.
And you must be Mr. Pathetic. Would you like to do? Might as well. Well, started standing still at the dealership. This is my first investment after a broke. But now they move on to leaving town. Not too much of a hurry, I hope. No, I'm just coming out of retirement and prepare for my future comeback.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't. I knew that. I know Holly was Pez's daughter, and yeah, she's a nice person. I'd say she does pretty well.
I want you to try to go. Oh, I wouldn't worry about any of that. This place seems. Yeah, it does. So I think it's
Huh. Yeah, which game are you playing? Yeah, I'm playing the GTA City. Right now. Playing a bit of GTA Vice City, just getting some things. There. Now I'm just gonna let's see what needs to be done. See if there's anything else to build up this stuff, but how about we go the ice cream thing? Yeah. Same became. Interesting. Well, it's nice to meet you, Holly the Wolf. Yeah, it's nice to meet all you guys on here. I mostly play Pokemon and Sonic games. Oh, Sonic was an okay game. I never played some Sonic games back in the day. I never liked the GameCube. Was the only game I played on that related to Sonic was Shadow the Hedgehog. Okay. And playing a bit of yeah. I mean, oh, damn. No, hold on. I forget how this thing does. I hate. Oh, correct. Okay. Yeah. I don't want this. What I do. What? Do you watch WWE regularly? Yeah, I'd say some people are fans of WWE, some fans are not. Oh, I didn't even pay attention. Guys, that's it. I didn't see that, but yeah. Anyway, I'm playing just some GTA for a minute. Try to get used to this stuff. Hey, hey, then get out of the way. Can't see the damn sun in my eyes. But yeah. Um, and I know, like, excited to see how SummerSlam's gonna be because we're about to see Nick Aldis versus Gunther, and how that's gonna go. All right. Hey guys, don't forget lanterns coming. Yeah, all right, we know about that. But I think I may. Well, we're going up for over an hour and a half now. But yeah. Before we start off anything, I'm gonna say not sure if I'm gonna be here as long because if Pez doesn't come back on, but you know, not gonna probably do this for another couple of minutes. But I just subbed to you, Iran McCain. Oh, well, nice for you, Holly. Yeah. And like I said, check out Brother Kane's channel. He does mostly related to video games, like playing GTA. I got GTA on the brain. Playing W2K26. Like I've been playing WWE 2K26, but now I've started playing a little bit more of GTA. You know, just to mix stuff around. I know. Hopefully, a little bit later when I get another few more subscribers to stay at the 900 subscriber count. The next video I'm going to do is related to. I definitely want to see how match will go between Nick Aldis and Gunther. Thanks. Yeah, yeah. Looks like now I'm starting to get a little busy here. But yeah, I know I'm probably done this live stream, but I go for a little bit of a dip in the water if it doesn't storm that outside. But yeah, I mostly do Pokemon Unite and Pokemon Go on my channel. Well, that's good to know. But yeah. So again, thanks again, Holly the Wolf. Thanks again, Pez, all of you guys that joined me. And looks like I'll go for a little bit. Oh my, yeah. Shit. Okay, okay. That's all. Sure. Yes. Thank you, Ken. Good channel. Yeah, Holly the Wolf. Yeah. Make sure you guys are subscribing as well to Holly the Wolf of Chaos channel. Shout, all right, I'm probably gonna end this live stream here so I can do some stuff later. But I know I'm gonna be doing live streams probably next week, and there's a possibility I may only be working 4 days for this week coming up as well. For eventually, I'm gonna have a 2 week off work near the end of July and the beginning of August. So there's that coming up. So it means being 2 live stream, guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being part of this live stream. Again, shout outs to I just thank you. No problem. Check out Brother K, check out Iran, check out Holly the Wolf, check out Pez, and check out my good old friends like Dex, and of course, Steven Hammer. Check out their channels. Make sure. Thank you guys so much for being part of this live stream. I'm seeing all about 4 or 5 likes so far, but yeah. But before I end the stream, since we got Iram and Brother Kane here, I think it's time we're gonna do some bit of quiz time. Let's see this. If you guys know about this. So we're gonna do a SummerSlam related quiz. So far, the only one I'm thinking of on my mind is 2005 SummerSlam. There's a SummerSlam in 2005. You too. Live stream. No problem. Yeah. Thanks again, Holly Wolf. But yeah, I want to say with Iram and Brother Kane here, we're gonna do a quiz related to SummerSlam 2005. Obviously, SummerSlam 2005. There was a lot of great familiar matches in that one, but I want to know if you guys know exactly where SummerSlam 2005 took place at. Let's see if you guys know this. What city was it that the 2005 WWE SummerSlam was at? Hmm. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit tired here, but you see if you guys know that. So, Brother Kane and Ram, it's quiz time for you guys. Let's see if you guys know your wrestling logic. And in fact, this is back in 2005. You should probably already know almost everything since you guys been for quite some time. I don't know either. I'll guess Miami. Nope. The correct answer was Washington, D.C. It was actually Washington, D.C. See you on the next stream, DM. Yep, see you next stream, Holly the Wolf. Thank you for being a part of it. Yeah, it was Washington, D.C. And of course, there was a matchup between Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. Does anyone remember exactly the match at SummerSlam 2005? Oh, no, I did, dog. You see it on this. I think it was a ladder match for custody over Dom. Yes, it was. Brother Kane was a ladder match and the custody over Dominic. Does anyone remember when Steph and in which year SummerSlam? I assume it had to be. I want to say 2010. Hmm, 2007, yeah, probably 2017 or 18. 2017. that match was great. Oh, okay. So I was a little bit off. Yeah. It was a great match indeed. All right, how about this one? The WWE Championship match of where oh, I know. I think there was a better matchup. It was a dream match that happened at SummerSlam 2005, and it was against who? It was who versus who in this once in a lifetime matchup. In fact, I think it was the dream match, and it was the first time ever. Who were the competitors in this first ever matchup at SummerSlam 5? Yeah, Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. Icon versus Icon. Definitely was. Yeah, and Iran got that one. I mean, that was indeed the matchup. It was Hogan versus Michaels. It was a one of a kind matchup as well. Oh, this one. Um, all right. Yeah. All right. Looks like we reached my limit here. But I got. Oh, they would do one more. What? I would say this one. True or false? The most iconic SummerSlam match most iconic SummerSlam match out there was but no. How about this? I'm trying to think. I think it was it was SummerSlam 99. The iconic ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Who who was in that ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam 99? Let's see if you guys know that. 2021 Roman Reigns versus Cena. Which one was better? Oh, I think I want to go with Brock and Roman for the fact that Brock literally took his payloader and literally lifted the ring up with it. And that was probably the most iconic to see that type of one. I don't know, man. Don't know. Let's see if Brother Kane knows about it. Jeff Jarrett versus D'Lo Brown IC title and European title match. Oh, I didn't know there was that type of match. I mean, I've heard about. Well, the match I was talking about, it was at SummerSlam '99. It was Triple H versus The Rock in a ladder match for. Let's see the name. Oh, you get out of the way, bitch. Yeah, it's just. All right, I'm gonna pause it here. End the live stream here. Brock vs. The Undertaker 2015. Brock and Taker. That one was just slightly better than the one with Randy. Just because there's that moment of them laughing at each other. Ugh. All right, I'm gonna end the live stream here. So, thank you guys so much for being part of the live stream. Shouts to Pez, shouts to Bill the Cage, shouts to Iram. Channel. Again, guys, if you're new to my channel, want to know what I'm all about, check out my most recent video about me unboxing and reviewing this bad boy. My main channel. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, guys. Bye, guys. Bye, Iram. Wow, already 5 so likes. Don't forget to ring that notification bell to have matches start to be notified when I do live streams. See you guys. Yeah, see you too, Brother Kane. When I be doing live streams, which obviously one next week. And as well, videos, hopefully more down the line when I get to them. But yeah. Also, don't forget to follow me on my social media, like on X at DMTombstone96, and as well on Instagram at DME96, where I may post stuff there, or I post stuff here on YouTube. On DM Tombstone Belts, and for DM Tombstone Live, signing off. See you guys next week. Have a good day, everybody.